we're now going to talk to you. We're moving into a whole different section called personality types, and there's 4 kinds. And we're going to begin, and I got to tell you up front that when I started doing research on these different types of personalities, it totally changed my career. I knew up front when we were talking about this stuff that I didn't land with a lot of people, that I just didn't really resonate with them. It's like we weren't a good fit. And I never really knew why. I didn't know enough about this information to sort it out and make sense out of it. So I started to do some research, attended a lot of classes, read some books, and this is our best attempt to divide this into 4 different kinds of personalities and get them in front of you so that you can use them. Each personality type, we're going to show you what they look like, how they present themselves, how they communicate with you, and most importantly, how you would adjust your relationship with them to reflect who they are. We're going to begin with a group called the thinkers. These are very analytical people, so what they look like and do, they have a lot of them are accountants, engineers, IT positions. They're people who love detail. Contract lawyers, not litigators, but contract lawyers, people like that. They're very meticulous in their dress. In the old days, they used to kind of have a pretty uniform appearance. They all wore khakis and hush puppies and polos. Yeah, they're big.
Shirts,
they were the original polo workers of the world. So yeah, button-down shirts. They're not necessarily fashion conscious or real trendy in their appearance. The women like to match accessories. They're very detail oriented, and they used to like thin lead pencils and stuff back when people wrote stuff down. Their homes have a tendency to be spotless or somewhat cluttered. They also, some of this personality type, a little bit OCD, they have a tendency to be collectors. But they're strategic thinkers. They have a lot of confidence intellectually, and they are very, very, they have a tendency to be rigid intellectually too. So this is important. Number 1 thing they have to be is right, okay? They are slow decision makers. They're a little reserved in how they approach people, and they're organized and very logical. Things have to make sense to them. They're slow to make decisions. Do not rush these people. They often need to think things over.
Definitely 1 or 2 step.
Yeah, thank you. Do not try to list their house the first time out, okay? They like words like specific and data. They're not fans of salespeople because they think we have a tendency to exaggerate to the point where we're not being truthful with them, truthfully. Governing need, they have to be right. How to connect in the appointment. Limit rapport. Exchange pleasantries. Get to the point where you do the little rituals that make people comfortable with one another. But generally, they're far more interested in doing business. Respect their decision-making process. Don't rush them. Plenty of data. Very comprehensive CMAs. These people are candidates for the RPR. Do the 50-page report for them. Most people that are another personality type would be unhappy with anything more than 4. But these people, you really want to bring them the Bible, okay? Bring them the book. Back everything up that you say with proof. Detailed explanations are welcomed and needed. Make sure your material is free of mistakes and not sloppy in any way, shape, or form. And remember, they need things to be correct. These are charts and graphs people. These are people that want to make a decision based on data. So if I was talking to you, Amy, I might say, Amy, we've gone over a lot of material today, and I know you need time to analyze this data carefully. They love that kind of language. I know you want to take your time and work your way through this. What I'd like to do is go back to the office, do a little bit more research for you, try to get on the same page in terms of value for your property, give you an opportunity to analyze our presentation and our marketing programs and services. Then we can reconvene and continue on with our dialogue if that works for you, if you're comfortable with that. This is the kind of language, this is the kind of body language you want with someone like this, just a little reserved. Your dress should not be real slick, you know, I mean, not real fashionable. It should be kind of play into what they're after, business casual, that kind of stuff. A suit's okay, but it should be a reserved suit. I would favor a sport coat with someone, a thinker, probably a tweedy coat, that kind of stuff. Think, what does a professor look like? That's what these people like. Any thoughts on this one, Amy?
No, I think you covered it pretty well. Don't be afraid to be yourself, but
Yeah.
but at the same time, communicate with them in a way that works for them. And data is what works really well. Somebody told me that anytime they went on an appointment with somebody they didn't know, they'd look them up on Facebook first to see if they could get clues, from their profession or just the kind of posts they make. So that might be a way for you to, just a little heads up before you go in, that you might be dealing with a certain personality type. So once you figure out how to communicate with the thinker, they're great people to work with, because all you got to do is provide them the data, and they're fine with everything. They just be specific. Sometimes people get frustrated with them because they're not thinkers and they haven't taken the time to figure out how to communicate effectively with them. But if they have what they need, they're fine. They're easy to work with.
Don't play with these people either. If you tell them you're going to call them back on Tuesday at 6:30, you need to call them back at 6:30.
That's right.
Okay? And don't ever tell them your house is worth somewhere between $240,000 and $280,000. Give them a number. Give them a specific number. Do what you say you're going to do. Be trustworthy, worthy of trust, dependable, able to be depended upon with these people especially. They are exacting people. They expect you to do things right, and there's nothing wrong with it. Don't begrudge them that. Okay? And if you don't feel the same way, or you're a little sloppy and disorganized, clean it up. Okay? Thanks.